For those who were born here in the United States, they should never forget the value in traveling to other parts of the world to learn other cultures and traditions.
My name is Mary Lane, and I'm a 13th generation American, native-born American. And you're probably wondering, why is a native-born American talking about an immigrant story for the big read? So I want to remind people of something a little bit different, and that is that most people immigrate into the United States, but some Americans emigrate out. And immigrants immigrate not only to America, but to other countries as well, Canada and other places. People have been moving for a long time around the world. So I grew up in a very segregated city and in a racist time. But like most Americans, I knew about other ethnic groups. I knew about other religions. I was curious to meet other people, but it was very difficult. I was aware of the civil rights movement, and that fascinated me. So I had this desire to get to know other people, and the opportunity presented itself at my high school. My father was a high school principal, and he was very instrumental in bringing exchange students to our high school, Forest Hills Central High School. So here are these people from other countries, and they weren't African American, they weren't Hispanic American, they weren't Native American. They were really different. They didn't speak the same language, they didn't have the same culture. So it was a real challenge, and I was fascinated, and I got to know a lot of exchange students at my high school. And this challenge empowered me to feel that I could do this too. So I made an application to Youth for Understanding, and they asked me, where would you want to go? I said, Switzerland. That's a country I knew. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting place. So I was accepted, and I started studiously looking at everything about Switzerland. I started practicing my French, thinking, yeah, I'll get there, I'll be able to speak French. Not with our high school French, you couldn't, but you know, I did try to prepare myself, and going some other place, it's good to prepare yourself, but you can never be emotionally prepared, just like the experience of becoming a parent. You can think about it intellectually, but emotionally, until you're there, you don't know it. So I went on this exchange in the summer of 1971. I went to Meiringen, Switzerland, and this was not ancient times, but it was a while ago, and travel was much, much more difficult than today. We flew to southern Germany, and then we all boarded trains to go off in different directions where our exchange families would meet us. And it was exhausting. It took the entire day. I was surrounded 360 degrees by all millions of faces, different languages, different cultures. I didn't know the environment. And I was the last student to be dropped off. Everyone else along the way was meeting their families. Finally, it was just me, and I was going to meet the Schmidhauser family. The train went up into the Alps, into this village where there was finally there was a family waiting for me. I was so exhausted. They came and they met me. By the time we got home, and Catherine, Hans, and Peter took my bags up to the 3rd floor, I dropped on that feather bed and I was out. That night I had a dream, or a nightmare, as you might say, that I was the last American left in the world. Like, I was the alien. There was no one else. I felt so alone, and it was such a shock to me. And from that, I understood what people experience by dislocation, alienation, and I had always been the majority culture. Now I was the minority. And I realized I have things to transmit that are important. I'm an American. American culture should survive. And in this feeling of looking around, how can I relate to anyone? No one understands me. Nobody looks like me. Nobody talks like me. Nobody eats my food. Then I said, I can do this. I'm going to be here. I need to go on. I need to start learning to adapt. And I did then. So The next morning I woke up and I said, oh, it's only a dream. And I looked out the window and there was the most beautiful landscape. It was the alpine landscape of this small village. So I said, this is going to be a great summer. I have so many great memories, but it was a struggle too. It was a trial. It was a lot of things I didn't understand, many uncomfortable moments. But I overcame that. I surmounted the challenge, and then from that I realized I can be a global person. I can get ahead of challenges. So then I later immigrated out of the United States and lived in Algeria in North Africa. I taught English there for a couple of years. And it was an unbelievable experience, but it was powered by my feeling from this high school experience that I could overcome challenges, that I could learn new things and I could master things. So I lived abroad a couple of years. I've traveled much in those years. And I feel like I've become a much more global and rich person from those experiences. Immigrants bring so much wealth to us, a wealth of experience, of overcoming challenge, of learning new languages. That's what made the United States a great place. Any country that doesn't welcome immigrants and open its arms and let its citizens go and experience the world, they're missing a lot. So that's what the United States was built on, open borders, people coming and going, open experiences. So I believe in that. I want to share that with people, and I want people to know that maybe I'll be ready for inter-universe travel in the future, because I learned this skill in high school and I learned to adapt, and other people can do it too. So that's my immigrant story. I immigrated, I came back, maybe I'll immigrate again, but that's what the world is, and be ready for it. So thank you.